Ladies and gentlemen, Charles in the deep, dark woods here in central Illinois in my parents' little Kawasaki Mule. And it's rained a bunch back here, man. I just love getting out in this stuff. This is what we hillbillies do. We like to go mudding in these little things. Oh man, I haven't done this in so long. So peaceful back here. There's nobody anywhere near us because my parents have all this ground here and we don't have any neighbors. So it's cool to be back here. Oh my God, man, there is a lot of water here. Woohoo! Anyway, this is just a look at some of our properties back here. A lot of people love to come back here and hunt. My parents rent it to a guy. He pays them a lot of money to come back here and hunt in all the deer seasons because there's a lot of deer. Pays thousands. I forget how much it is. It's a lot of money to come just to hunt. Because my parents don't hunt anymore, or my mother never did, but my dad used to. But he doesn't anymore. But love these little Kawasaki's, man. These things are awesome, and this is so much fun. Just listen to music, get you a case of beer, come back here and just chill, man. Just road trip around. You're not gonna hit and kill anybody. The police are not gonna stop you. Only thing that can stop you is a Bigfoot or whatever the hell's in all these forests here. My mom and dad said to be careful. They said there's some of this washed out. I mean, a lot of erosion because they had tons of rain. And there was a lot of erosion somewhere up here. I don't know exactly where. But all this is my parents' ground. It's really cool. Can't wait till they give me some of it. And I'd like to build like a little house back in here. We have a cabin up here. By this pond way up this direction here somewhere. And try to find it. But here in the middle of Illinois, it's very, very similar. This is in a county called Cumberland. Illinois is made up of a bunch of different counties. So this is in Cumberland County, east central Illinois. So it's about in the middle, really close to the really close to the Indiana line. We're really close to Terre Haute, Indiana. But what you see out here, very flat area, very flat terrain in this part of Illinois. And you've got very similar to Vojvodina because it's all about soybeans and corn. And my dad used to farm a bunch, but he doesn't anymore. He cash rents it. There's people that come in and farm it all and they just pay him a certain percentage of it because he's, I don't know, getting close to 70. So he doesn't like the headache of it anymore. And we have all this bottom part here. But you see a lot of this bottom land like this, flat, and then you've got trees out here. We got quite a few trees. There's a big creek that runs right over in here. I used to come back here when I was a kid. Man, these weeds are deep, man. This little son of a bitch, I put it in four-wheel drive because I was going through all that mud, but it still zips around pretty good. These things are nice, but they're like, man, like $10,000, $12,000. That's a lot of money for a small little thing you don't use every day. You know, you can almost buy a car for that amount. But anyway, that's a quick look. I'll show you a little bit more in a minute. As soon as I get up this big hill. The only bad thing about these, man, if you've got, I'm getting ready to go through the little woods trail here, but if you have any sort of allergies, all these weeds, man, are really high, and you've got just so much pollen this blows right back in your face with a lot of bugs, like little spiders and things like that. Lots of pollen, man. I don't have any allergies, you know, Havala Bogu, but if you did, this would not be very much fun. You should be sneezing your ass off here, but we got lots of mushrooms in these woods. Lots of people like to eat these certain mushrooms called a morel, and you can find a lot of them back in here. Ouch! Oop, I don't think I'm supposed to go through here. I think he plants something for the natural habitat for the birds. There's lots of these pheasants and different birds that have specific seeds and stuff that they plant for those birds. The U.S. government does some really good things. What my mom did for years, she worked for the U.S. government, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. They do some really good programs to protect the environment, to protect the species and habitats, and they pay you a certain amount of money if you plant certain varieties of plants and shrubs and trees. And they even pay you to not farm your ground. Like this land out here, this is my dad's field. It looks like it was just in corn here recently. But the government will pay you a certain amount just to keep it not planted, something called set aside, to keep the prices kind of stable in the United States. So one year they'll pay them a certain amount per acre just to not plant anything because it keeps from getting too much corn and soybeans on the market and lowering prices. So it's a really interesting thing. But this is where I used to come all the time when I was a little kid, man. I always loved this, having woods and everything. There's a lot of it. I mean, we have quite a bit of it here. And you never see anybody. But now, the older I get, I'm more of a... Sorry, I cut myself off because it was a farmer over there. That the guy that farms for my dad. I didn't want to see me recording him, think that was odd. But I'm more of a city person now. I much prefer the city, living in Novi Sad, 400,000 people, to this. But I like to come back here. It's nice just for a while. Nice and relaxing little place. There's another field up here. He had in corn last year, looks like. We're gonna zip across this son of a bitch and go to this little... it's bumpier than fuck up here right now. Damn. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna break my neck. Jeez, man. Ooh. I'm gonna run the shocks on this little devil. We usually mow this. I usually mow it with the lawnmower when I'm back here, this whole little area, because it's like the lawn of the cabin. There's a big pond back here. It's got catfish in it, right by the trees. And then you got the little cabin back here. Nobody comes back here at all. It's a really nice cabin inside too. I think I showed you before in it. If you watch my videos frequently, you're able to see it. But, oh, there's that little devil. He's got a lot of power, man. I like it. There's a cabin. It's quiet. There's birds. There's an outhouse. If you need to go to the bathroom, we don't have running water back here in this little cabin, but a really secluded little area, man. But I used to come back here all the time when I was a kid, man. It always brings back memories from my early hillbilly days. We used to swim in this pond, and oh man, look at the water. The water's like filthy now. It's almost like amber color. Look at that, man. That's nasty. A little duck house over there, if you can see it. There's a deer stand right in there. That's where they like to hunt, because it's a perfect place when deer come to drink. Anyway, my friends, that's a little look. Do Virginia.